So I'm trying some new software today and want to test it out a little bit. It's where I can do a split screen where you can see me and what we're doing down here on the table. And today I have some DTF transfers. And so most of you guys have used vinyl, you've used water slide, but these are kind of new. Um, they're actually designed for t-shirts. So I bought this equipment to, make t-shirts and things on fabric, but I thought why not give it a shot and see if I can use these decals on my tumblers. Because the biggest problem with tumblers is that it's hard to get. So water slide is clear, so you can't get white ink. Vinyl is a pain in the butt to weed. But these actually print a white ink on the back. So it's a white ink printer and there's no weeding of any kind. So all this, I just print it out, put the adhesive on the back, and it is ready to press. So today I'm going to show you me putting, one of these on the tumblers and how it works out. So what I print these out on pretty much 13 by 17 gang sheets. So I can get a ton of decals all on one sheet. And to apply them, I use a little mini iron. Now I have the Cricut brand, but since then Amazon has came out with one, and I have that link in our store on Amazon. You can find one. It's almost $20 cheaper, and it is the exact same thing. So I love Cricut, but I paid like $50 for this little iron. It's been great because it's small and it's great to put on decals on hats and anything that doesn't fit under your press well, but $50 is a lot for, a little iron. So I think the one on Amazon is like 30 something dollars. So it's a little better. And there might even be cheaper ones that could work. I just like the smallness of this one. So I set mine on a medium heat when I apply it, and it only takes about 20 to 30 seconds to start adhering. And then you have to let it cool completely before you pull it off, because you don't want to pull it off hot or it doesn't stick well. For whatever reason, my camera's not focused here. It looks blurry on my end, but hopefully it's supposed to autofocus. See, new cameras, new equipment. Hello. It's blurry. I don't like it. Try to get it fixed for you guys. Well, so much for autofocus, I guess, right? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So I lay my decal on, and like sometimes if it's a weird shape, so I may go ahead and cut my cow off, and then I'll lay the text, and then I'll lay the cow next to him, just because sometimes the curve of our tumblers wreak havoc on trying to put things on. So let's do the words first. Okay, so I'm going to take my little iron, and I'm not pushing real hard, you guys. This is super gentle. And I kind of, in my head, I'm counting to kind of 20. Now this tumbler has been glittered and epoxied. And the heat doesn't seem to bother the epoxy. It is, it's only on medium. So I don't think it's quite hot enough to melt the epoxy. Clearly, if you held it in one spot for too long, there's a chance that you could totally melt it here. And I do love water slide, but the problem with water slide is I don't like white water slide. And sometimes if I wanted to put this, if I wanted to print these out with white words and, so see that? So see, I'll let you see it. So see how that looks like kind of grayish? Well, that is the film actually peeling off the letter. So you know that it's starting to take for sure in that spot. And sometimes it'll do that. I just know that I've gotten it hot enough to where it's sticking. Now, not a lot of people sell these kind of transfers. I do sell them, and basically you can send whatever files. Like you can buy, my designs for sure. But if you have designs and you want to gang them up on a sheet, I mean, you got to think most tumbler decals are like, what, say 4 inches wide, 3 inches tall. So you can get like a dozen or more on one sheet. Now you do have to, once we get this on here, you just have to clear coat them. Just spray a layer of clear over top of them. And I just do it as a precaution. Sometimes I epoxy and it's just fine, but other times the epoxy doesn't want to take. And so it takes no time at all to just spray a layer clear, let it dry for an hour, and not even, you don't even have to let it dry an hour. You could totally fast forward it with a heat gun or something. Now, hopefully, we're all good here. Okay, so your tumbler's warm for sure. So I just kind of rub it down, make sure it's kind of on there. And then I'm gonna let that cool, and I'm just gonna leave that on there, and I'm gonna move over here, and I'm gonna put my little cowl on. And I leave that on there so I don't accidentally bump. If I peeled it, like let it cool, peel, and then do this, if I accidentally bump it with the iron, I'm gonna mess it up. So we'll just leave that protective film on there while we're doing our cowl. I'm just making sure to get all the edges nice and sealed. I did, I don't know if anyone's ever done like a storybook tumbler where you use pieces of paper and you rip it up. And um, I call mine like the one more chapter cup because that's what my logo, like the decal says. But normally I would have to rip up paper and do layers and layers and layers of Mod Podge and let it dry. I printed all of my decals out on this stuff. I dropped the words into my Illustrator program. I made it look like ripped paper and I printed it out. And I literally just had to I just peeled them off of the backing and laid them on my tumbler. Used my little heat gun, warmed it up, laid them on. All right, so let's go over here and test our letters since it's cooler. Let's hope I'm not going to have a big fail on TV here. Bow! Look at that. How cool is that? This cow's still a little warm. But I mean, look at the colors. I mean, they're so vibrant. Yeah, honestly, could probably peel her off. Yeah, I mean, check it out. And there's no cutting, no weeding. Literally, it's just a little bit of heat. So I will, I'll do the other side, put the words on. And what's cool is you can get really, really, really tiny words with this thing, which you typically can't do with vinyl. Um, and water slide's picky and finicky, and sometimes it tears and rips. But I mean, as long as you let this cool, It is really, 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 really easy to put on. I really like these decals. Um, but if you want to look for somebody in your area who makes them, you want to search up probably someone who does t-shirt printing. They might have um, one of these printers. I ordered mine from overseas. Um, Here in the States, they'll cost you $3,000 to $5,000. Um, Mine was less than two, with all in with everything I needed, my powder, my inks, my paper, all that stuff. But didn't take too long to get it here, but I ordered directly from the manufacturer. And my brand is called a Pro Colored Machine. But I bought it so I could do white on dark colors because I do sublimation. I do HTV, but sublimation you can't do on dark colors. And everybody likes black shirts or, dark blue shirts or whatever. Everybody wants dark colors. So that's why I got it originally. But I have found that I can use this printer for all kinds of stuff. But if you want to order decals for me, I'm happy to make them for you. Probably should have cut that and then did this one, but it's kind of stretchy too. So like you see on my cup or my cup tapers down here, this wants to kind of bend a little bit, but it has some give to it. So as I iron it, it honestly stretches a little bit and goes onto the tumbler kind of nice. And I probably over iron because I get nervous and I miss spots, especially when I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I mean, this isn't hot, hot. It's warm for sure. But I only do it on medium. I don't use the high setting. It might even work on low, but on t-shirts, it's 220 degrees or 320 degrees is what you press at. I'm not sure what these little irons do. Okay. So see how it's like gray there? It's already starting to want to come off. Oh, so right there, I missed that little tip of the A. So I'm just slow when I pull it up. So in case I miss the spot, I'll go over this all again here. Just make sure I get it. So don't rip it off. Just take your time. That or maybe it wasn't cool enough. See, there we go. I just slowly take it off. There we go. How cool is that? So I will just spray clear coat on both sides and let it dry. And then this baby is ready for epoxy. So just a little Friday lesson in DTF decals. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks.